All right, Coach, now that you've been able to probably just sit and digest last night's game a little bit more, what are you seeing, especially from like the young core, that is your biggest takeaway that you feel like they maybe even learned from last night?
A lot for us to learn from last night. I'm not into moral victories. We're playing this game to win games. I thought last night that we did enough to win the game, and we put ourselves in a position to win the game. And on the last possession, we just didn't do enough of boxing out to rebound and secure that last possession. And that was something that was going on over the course of the whole game. Big emphasis on today was watching the film and us boxing out and going through drills today in practice and boxing out. Probably we're the only one team in NBA working on physically on working on boxing out in game-like situations, and that's something that we gotta get better at. Doesn't matter personnel that we have on the court or there, because that's really hurting us. And a lot of positive stuff as well. Ball movement and creating shots, and then playing together was good. We scored enough to win. We just need to find a way to protect the paint better and finish possessions.
Young Jordan last night seemed to be very calm for a young kid giving a first shot. What did you think of the way he played overall?
I think that he played a good game. Previous game when I threw him out there, he was a little bit surprised. That did not come as a surprise last night, and I told him that he's going to get an opportunity to go out there, and that I expect him to step up, especially in defensive role. He's a talented offensive player. Defense is something that in the past he did not do a good enough job, and I'm really challenging him on that part, that I want him to become solid defensive player, because there is not one thing that can prevent him from being that. He's big, he's athletic, he's very mobile, he's capable to move laterally. It's just like his focus and attention and effort has got to be on much higher level. Offensively, I thought that he brought us extra punch there. He was able to score. He was able to create some assists as well, and he was active on the glass as well.
Look at guys like him and Jontay, for where this franchise is, where this team is. This is a huge opportunity for young players to earn all kinds of time. Do you present that to them and say, hey, this is your chance? Don't mess it up, or this is your chance, take it? Like, how do you?
It is opportunity for them, for sure. It's opportunity for the organization as well to see what those guys can bring and what we have in those guys. That's why they're getting all of those opportunities and learning experiences, and really pushing the envelope with them, with their development. You know, we're jumping on all different kinds of programs on the court, off the court, nutrition, training, everything that we can do to help Jordan and to help Jontay in this case to get up to speed with the NBA speed and physicality.
You mentioned Jordan's defense in the past being something he needs to work on now. Can that be, how is that done other than game reps and video? Like, is there much other individual work that can be done about that on the court?
For sure. As you can see, Grady made improvements and strides on the defensive end comparing to the start of the season, and that's thanks to individual work on the court, but also with our player performance and strength conditioning, addressing his body in the weight room as well, and mobility and that kind of stuff. But he's been doing a lot of like defensive drills, how to guard the ball, chest up, not picking up fouls, and you can see there is like Phil can just get you, this much better, awareness and whatnot, but you gotta get physical reps, and we gotta find a time, even in the season, with all the traveling and playing and all of that, we gotta find a time to improve in that area there as well, and that's what's ahead of Jordan's player development plan.
How important is it for you guys to win some games? I know you always talk about development, but you lost 8 of 9. They got to see tangible results. Did you hammer that to them? How important is that?
That was my first statement with the team. Like, we're playing hard, and we're putting ourselves in a position to win games. We just got to find a way to close some of those games, and how to make extra free throw, how to make extra box out, how to make extra play and not turn the ball over. all of this is great learning experience, but with wins, it's gonna come much more like this is the path. Right. This is the way to do it.
Believe it.
And believing it and seeing it, like I always say, like when you win a game by 1 point, oh, we are resilient and we're great, and you always look at all the positive stuff. And you lose by 1, everything is dark and cloudy. And the truth is always somewhere in between. And we need to come to the position like that to win some of those games and gain extra confidence.
Now that there's a significant sample size, what are you seeing from Bruce Brown?
Bruce Brown is all-around player. He just knows the game, knows the league. He's very good cutter. He's capable to recognize situations on the floor and play off of his teammates. He's not necessarily demanding the ball, but he's very capable to create when he has the ball. And there is just a lot of know-how with him on defensive end. He knows personnel of the league. He knows how to guard guys, how to position himself. I think he's a two-way player.
How much Jackson there doing the play-in or the play group? Is he any closer or sort of status quo?
He's getting closer. We're at the point now to really work on his conditioning and getting him ready to get back in the game and not miss a beat when he comes back.
Let's just start with last night. What was your biggest takeaway?
Oh man, it was just kind of a next man up mentality. We knew RJ and Quick and people were going to be out, and it's a next man up mentality. Guys that haven't been playing got the opportunity, and for us to just go out there and fight. Just because the record doesn't look the greatest doesn't mean we can just fold over. We have a lot of games left, and there's a lot of progress to be made, both individually and collectively. So for myself, and I think the rest of the team I can speak for, it was just going out there and playing hard, sticking to the game plan, and giving ourselves a chance to win, which is what we did. Obviously the outcome wasn't what we wanted, but a lot of good takeaways.
I know that Coach, he came in here and he was just talking about there's no moral victories. Like, of course, you still just want to win. Going into Chicago, what is the takeaway that you feel like you could translate from that game and then apply to tomorrow's game?
Yeah, we have a little bit of a losing streak going on. I know Chicago is included in that. We played them about a week and a half ago, so we're going to watch a lot of film on them. I know I will, with how to guard Vucevic and Drummond and all that, but yeah, taking away from last game, just the way we played with effort-wise, I think was there. There were some technicals on defense we didn't have. We just went over in film. But, yeah, I mean, in the midst of losing, you can still learn a lot, which is, I think, what we're doing a pretty good job on. And Chicago came into our house and got a win, so now it's time for us to return the favor, hopefully. We'll see.
Obviously, points in the paint has been also an issue over the past stretch. Of course, Yak being out kind of suffers there a little bit. How can you guys adjust or, I guess compensate at this point for that?
Yeah, I think the effort, like I've mentioned a few times in this interview, the effort's there from all of us, I think. And even if the size isn't necessarily there with our 7-footer and Yak, I think a lot of it just has to do with the mentality of the rotations and where to box out, who to hit. Because a lot of us are playing in positions we aren't necessarily used to, or not being able to rely on Jakob like they've been used to. So we're all learning, we're all growing. It'll take more and more games, hopefully not as many losses. But with Yak coming back in, that's not any reason to let up, I guess. All of us are learning how to better surround the bigs, myself included, in rebounding. It's a gang effort, is what Coach is always talking about, and it really is, because you can have a Wemby out there and they're still giving up offensive boards. It's not necessarily who's the biggest guy on the floor. It's how can you position yourself to be in a position to get a rebound. So that's something that they've harped on a lot in film, and a lot of it falls on me. I know a lot of it falls on our other guys, but we're getting better. That's always the goal, the trajectory.
And then just in terms of, especially because you've been on this stretch with the Raptors and not in the 905, but what stands out to you with these collective guys that you're currently playing with? I know Jordan talked about last night just how you guys are in the gym a lot, first one's in, last one's out type of thing. What stands out to you about these guys?
I think just the collective mentality as a team. I've never really been on a losing team necessarily, and I know the season's semi-young. We're kind of halfway through, and there's still a lot of time to turn it around. But I imagine to be a whole lot more miserable than it is right now. The positivity is high, the morality is high. Guys are still in the gym early, doing their routine, things they've stuck to. We're not just going our separate ways, I guess, as a locker room, and I think that's most important because it kind of establishes a culture. I'm not too familiar with the Raptors culture because I haven't been a part of it, but from everything I'm hearing, it's just the grit, the toughness, and all that, and every single guy in this locker room has kind of represented that despite the losing. And I think if we stick to that, it'll eventually turn around. So that's the hope, that's the goal, and it's really been fun to be a part of.
Thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest video and subscribe for more.
Denied. Lead pass. Here's McDaniels. In a crowd. Wide open.